We are lucky to have the distinguished Georgetown professor, Madeleine Albright, here at the Pacific Council, but I first want to introduce my friend Scott Christopher to present the Christopher Award to Secretary Albright. There's nobody more deserving of this unique honor than Madeleine Albright.
Secretary Albright, it's good to see you, and thank you for joining us tonight. I am Scott Christopher, the eldest son of Warren Christopher. My father served as co-chair of the Pacific Council for many years and helped it evolve into a major force for dialogue and development of public policy. I know my father would be pleased that you are addressing our organization. He was most fortunate to have you as a partner during the Clinton administration. The Warren Christopher Award for Public Service was established in 2013 to honor the legacy of my father, who believed deeply that public service should be an important part of the life of every person. Secretary Albright, thank you for your lifelong public service to our nation and the world as both a diplomat and a university professor. On behalf of the Pacific Council on International Policy and the Christopher family, I am pleased to present you with the Warren Christopher Award for Public Service. Congratulations.
Scott, thank you very much for introducing me and giving me an opportunity to say a few words about your father. We first met during the Carter administration. I was on the staff of the National Security Council and he was Deputy Secretary of State. And then our paths crossed a number of times later in Washington in so many different ways. And he was the person that was very much a part of the transition team for President Clinton. And I'll never forget the phone call that came from him December 5th, 1992, saying, you have to come down to Little Rock. Don't let anybody see you before you get here. And with those instructions, I got on a plane, not have any idea what was going to happen. And Chris, as we called him, kept me calmed down. And we had dinner the night before I was supposed to go and see Governor Clinton or President-elect Clinton. And he said, Madeleine, I'm going to be the Secretary of State. And I was so pleased. I put my hand on his arm and I said, Chris, that's terrific. And even though there was nobody in the restaurant where we were, he said, don't show any emotion. Nobody's supposed to know this. But the best story I do want to tell, because he was the most generous boss and public servant that I've ever met. And what happened was I was named to be ambassador to the United Nations, which was a cabinet level post. And as I'm going up to New York, he said to me, Madeleine, you are an instructed ambassador when you're in New York, but when you are in the meetings of the Principals Committee, you're a cabinet member and you have to have an independent voice in terms of what you think about various decisions. And that was a most generous and typical kind of thing that your father would do in terms of being collegial and so smart. And I don't know how many people know that while he looked very appropriate in a pinstripe suit, the pinstripe suit did have a red lining. So it was always fun to be around him. Thank you so much, Scott. And I truly, truly do appreciate this very important award from one of the great American public servants.
Well, thank you. Thank you for your very kind and generous words about my father, Madeleine. I appreciate it.